Cats and coffee again. I'm happy to see you. This is like the highlight of my week.
Gleva. I'm so glad to hear that.
I have two coffees now. And I have this other little mug, which I love, that came from the Isle of Skye. I drink a lot of coffee, and it's a two coffee morning for me. How are you doing?
Ah, I'm pretty well. I hope you are too. How was your week?
St.
Ah,
Patrick's Day here in the US is huge. I play a lot of bagpipes, so I do a lot of Irish, and we start quite early in the morning, both days for the St. Baldrics. They do this big parade downtown Las Vegas,
wonderful.
ending in front of the New York. There's celebrities that come out and shave their heads for money, and they raise almost $500,000 for children's cancer.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
the good event. And then we leave from there and just go, play for regular St. Patrick's all over the town. So it's fun, but it's exhausting.
Yes, I'm sure.
So I'm happy to be here with you. But it's been a couple of days. We're recording, we record before Friday. It's Friday for everyone else. But it's been a couple
Right.
of days and I'm still recovering, drinking all my coffee. I'm married to a physician and he always tells me, you drink too much coffee, it's not healthy. So I know if you guys are thinking that too, yes, I know, but I need it. So anyway,
Maybe
with
not healthy, but essential at sometimes.
it's essential. Coffee is essential. So when you wanted to do a little show called Cats and Coffee, yes, I'm in.
Right.
I'm in. I still have the MacBean clan crest behind me, and that's because it's still that month. I don't know how much we'll be talking about that today, but I just wanted to keep it up because we are spotlighting MacBean this month.
Sure. Of course.
And by the time this airs on Friday, I actually did get an opportunity to interview more Richard MacBean of MacBean. So that will be on Friday to air the following week. So we'll push almost to the end of March and we'll be able to get more of that in. I do have some footage
Oh,
from
good.
Prescott Highland Games, but it's not quite enough. When I went in to try to make a video, it just wasn't quite enough. So I'm very appreciative to Richard MacBean to come on with us. And so that will be sometime next week. And in the meantime, Ray, how have you been doing? I've been really enjoying what you've been putting out on your
Oh,
channel. Do you want to talk to the viewers here? Because this is both on your Touch Not channel, but also on the Clan Hatton Association YouTube channel. So I want to have people, go over and like and subscribe to your Touch Not channel. And so, as usual, you're going to see the links and how to find that right here, right now.
that's right.
What have you been up to over there? It's really fun. Everybody, you've got to check it out.
Yeah, well, we've got a lot of Highland games coming up in New England, so I've been making some spots for a few of my friends for that, promoting some of those events. The Tartan Ball that we talked about, that's April the 6th. That's coming up soon. I think they're all sold out now.
Oh, goodness.
And there's a couple more Donald MacBean for MacBean month segments to come on the Touch Not channel. One was released the other day. There's 2 or 3 more to still come. I have to shoot those out in the next couple days before March ends, of course. So yeah, we're having a lot of fun with that. New England is very vibrant with the Highland Games this year, especially. There's been 2 more announced in Connecticut. So I'm not going to be able to go to all of these, but we're very vibrant here. I call it. It's never ending. It's always evolving. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I'm
Uh,
excited at the Tartan Ball. So hopefully, some of our people were able to get in. I know that's going to be great fun. The Scotsman's Ball here on the West Coast, it's just so much fun. And obviously there's Ceilidh dancing, there's Highland dancing, there's bagpipes. It's fun, food, music, fun, and socializing with other people. So, and you get to wear your tartan. So that's
that's
always
right.
fun. I am going to figure out, I understand that there's a way to make playlists for each one of the Highland clans, but also for some of the stuff that you're doing where I can put into a playlist in the Clan Hatton Association YouTube channel to link back to your channel, Ray. So
Okay.
I'm going to be doing that for both your channel and some of the other clans of the Clan Hatton Association.
Okay.
So that
So within your listings, there are going to be some links over to other channels. Yes. Very nice. Thank you.
Yes, I understand that I'm able to do that and put them into a playlist. So I am going to get that done. Please be patient. And in the meantime, just go ahead and jump over to Ray's channel. You'll end up over there anyway. So
Yeah.
so I'm kind of excited where, as we evolve our cats and coffee, we talked about doing something fun. And I thought this might be great fun because I was having such a tough time remembering how to pronounce the word Shenahee, with Philip Beddows
Yes.
coming on and with our spotlight on Clan MacBean. Philip Beddows is the Clan Shenahee for Clan MacBean. And of course, that's a Gaelic word and it doesn't look like Shenahee. I'm going to put
Right.
that word up here, the pronunciation down below. So we thought, what fun would it be to have some Gaelic and do Gaelic phrase or word of the week? So we thought we would start out by introducing some Gaelic to you. And this is so fun for me because it reminds me of my dad. My dad was so fun. He had, I don't know if you guys remember all of those books, the For Dummies books.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Everything for dummies.
Right.
For dummies, trading for dummies, all of this. My dad carried around a book called Gaelic for Dummies. And he had fun with it to the extent that he would be going through a drive-through here in the States where he used to live north of Santa Barbara on the coast of California. And he'd be going to order fast food through a drive-through and he'd pull out his Gaelic for Dummies and he'd try to order in Gaelic.
Oh my gosh.
My mom was always like, oh my gosh, she was so embarrassed. Or in a restaurant, he carried this thing in the car with him everywhere he went, and he tried to
Oh,
speak Gaelic to people. And I don't know that he knew how to pronounce it correctly. So I'm actually going to link below or try to link below. There's kind of a cheat sheet for the letters and the letter sounds. What to pronounce, what not to pronounce. The fun thing about Gaelic, and it's Gaelic. I know we say a lot of times Americans we say Gaelic, but it's Gaelic.
Gaelic, right?
But a lot of times you have a big long word. For instance, there's a type of piping that we do called pibroch. It's just 2 syllables, but you don't pronounce most of them. So
Right.
you
A
know,
lot of it's just collateral, just baggage comes along with the word and you have to ignore it or learn to
yeah,
ignore it.
yeah, pibroch. And then so if you see a CH or something, DH, CDH, oftentimes you have to go make a sound really deep in your throat. So you're like, okay, there's sounds we don't make in English, we speak mostly with the front of our mouths. Gaelic, that's one of these languages where you use your whole mouth into your throat area to make some of these sounds as well, which I can't seem to get right. Alan McLean of Doc Garrick has tried to teach me many times how to pronounce Doc Garrick correctly with this sound. And I
Right.
can't I failed to do it correctly. I butcher it. I don't want to do it. So with that, Ray, you have been practicing and you have some of these Gaelic terms and words. So I want to turn it over to you. And just know, everyone, we're going to post that here so you can try to pronounce along with us.
I think a lot of, especially Americans, we want to pronounce everything we see on a paper. We want to use it all, but a lot of it is just not said out loud, right? A lot of those letters are just not used, but they're in that word and we really want to use them. But that's hard. That's the hardest part about this, I think. Kimmerahau. Kimmerahau, Cindy.
Okay, Kimmer
How are you, Cindy? Kimmerahau.
Kimmer how are you, Ray?
Well, that's Gleva. That's very good to hear. That's Gleva. Very good.
Oh,
Kimmerahau. Kimmerahau. How are you? Gleva. Very good. It's
Kimmer
Gleva to have everyone watching us on Cats and Coffee right now.
yes. Yes, try to pronounce this. Try to pronounce it to your friends and family just for fun later on.
Kimmerahau.
Kimmer.
And someone who knows better than I is laughing right now, I'm sure. And that's part of this part of this show. That's why we do this. We're having fun doing this. People that don't know how to say it, maybe they learned a little bit, and people that know more than me, they're wanting to call me up right now, I'm sure, but that's okay.
Hey, put some comments down below just because it's fun,
Please
but
do.
be nice. You know, we're just Ray and I are doing our best job. If you're laughing out loud, that's fine. Or if you have other Gaelic words and terms and how to pronounce them correctly, put them down below. That would be great fun. We can have
Right.
fun next week. That would be really fun.
Tapidlet. Tapidlet. That's thank you. Tapidlet.
Tapalet.
Tapidlet.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy, for that explanation. My grandson Patrick often says something to me when I walk into their house. He says, Hagol Akam Ort, Grampy. Grampy is actually not a Gaelic name. That is my nickname for him. Hagol Agam Ort. I love you. Hagol Akam Ort. Hagol Agam Ort. I love you. People know the Falcha. Welcome is Falcha. We want to tell everyone Falcha to Cats and Coffee this week. And it's so glad to have you all here with us watching Cats and Coffee. Falcha, everyone.
Falcha. We'll start the next video with Falcha for next week. And maybe we can build and expand on this, right? That'd be really fun.
Yes, Falcha, Kimura Hahu. We hope you're all gleva today.
I'm not going to try to repeat that. I don't have a cheat sheet.
Please don't ask me to either then.
No, you're doing a great job. That's wonderful. I love it. I also thought it might be fun at some point in the future. I had from the University of Highlands and Islands out on the Isle of Skye, they have a Gaelic course just to give us an overview of Gaelic and some history about Gaelic. I think that was really fun, and how Scottish Gaelic differs from Irish Gaelic in some ways.
Yes.
A little bit different
Right.
dialect. You know, just like you travel around the United States and you find a little bit different accents and dialects throughout the United States, the South, from the West, from the East, from
Right.
Boston, where you are, and up north towards Canada. It'll be fun to
Right.
explore this a little bit more and make it an ongoing Cats and Coffee topic.
Right. So there's regional variations, just like anywhere would be. Sure.
And you just talked briefly about your upcoming events. I know, just to let everyone know again, we have the Las Vegas Highland Games coming up April 13th and 14th here in Las Vegas at Craig Ranch Park. It's going to be great fun, and Vegas is a fun place. You might as well come go to the games and maybe check out some of the other shows on the strip. We will be filming some of the games. Right now, as it stands, I think I'm also competing, and my sister's coming, my sister Marie, who some of you know, who helps with the clan tent when I'm competing with my pipes. So my sister's my savior, and she's a lot of fun as well. So we'll be seeing more of my sis there. And then we thought we would just, for fun today, talk a little bit about some of the feudal history and exploits of the Clan Mackintosh, Clan Hatton. Basically, it's Clan Hatton. I have some fun little excerpts I've taken from the Kinrara. So again, everybody, big disclaimer, whenever we know of the discrepancies or we find out about them, we try to make those assertions. We try to go ahead and let you know what those are. Because it's sometimes hard to check. There's some of the transcripts from the Kinrara have been lost to us. I can't remember if they were lost in a fire or what happened, but they were lost, and so they can't be wholly checked. But a lot of the information of the Kinrara does check out. So with that, I just sent this to you this morning, Ray, so I don't know if you want to read some of it. So I just want to start kind of at the beginning. I thought it's interesting to talk a little bit about the feuds because there's so much information about the feuds and the battles. There were battles that went on. There were fights that went on, primarily between the Commons and also the Camerons. Just chime in. I thought it'd be fun just to start this and we can continue it later because there's a lot, but the feuds include the other Clan Hatton clans, not just Clan Mackintosh. So I like it because they're interesting, they're fascinating. but they include a lot of the other Clan Hatton clans over
Right.
time. So this begins with the sixth chief, Angus Mackintosh, raised in the court of his uncle, Alexander Og MacDonald, chief of the Clan Donald and Lord of the Isle.
Ah,
In 1291, he married Ava, daughter of Dougal Dall, chief of the Clan Hatton, and with Ava, he brought the first MacBean. Now, we talked about this with Philip Beddows. There's some
yes.
controversy over the existence of Ava. There's a lot of information saying that she was a true figure. Philip believes that she was. A lot of people believe that she was. The MacPhersons never made a challenge, and they would have if she wasn't a true figure of history.
Right.
So in 1291, Angus Mackintosh married Ava, daughter of Dougal Dall, chief of Clan Hatton. With this marriage came the lands of Glenoy, Loch Arkaig, and Tor Castle, which had been the home to Lord Banquo. Again, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's spelled Banquo.
I didn't know what to do with that either.
The chief of Loch Arbor and Macbeth's right-hand man. So we are going way back during the time of Macbeth, people. This is like crazy history. When Angus's father-in-law died, he became chief of Clan Hatton. After this, up into 1933, the Mackintosh and Clan Hatton chiefs were entwined.
Right. Yep.
And then in 1933, the Lord line, as we've talked about previously, split the chieftains. And now John Mackintosh of Mackintosh, who is the chief of Clan Mackintosh, is the president of the Clan Hatton Association.
Yes.
At the beginning of the 14th century, Angus and Ava retreated to Rothmarchus, leaving Tor Castle. The Camerons found this incredibly convenient, and this free rent was the basis of this 350-year feud. The long-running feud between Clan Cameron and Clan Mackintosh is infamous, bloody, and full of treachery. By all accounts, it should have ended on many occasions. Like a great many Highland feuds, it is disputed over land and unlawful occupation of Tor Castle and the lands of Loch Arbor by the Clan Cameron. It must be noted that after all the bloodshed, slaughter, and famous Highland battles that took place during this over 350-year feud, the courts and the crown always sided with the Mackintoshes in that the land belonged to them by right and by title. And at different times, the courts and the crown ordered the Camerons to vacate. At different times, realizing and stating in official documents that the Camerons would never allow anyone else to occupy Loch Arbor peacefully anyway, the Camerons were ordered to compensate the Mackintoshes accordingly.
I know you mentioned that before. They just stuck there like glue, no matter who said what, who ruled what, or who ruled in whose favor, they still stayed.
Whether they had battles over it, even if they lost the battles, they wouldn't go.
Right.
Ironically, the Camerons held Castle Tor, Loch Arbor, and the disputed lands between Loch Ill and Loch Arkaig throughout the entire feud, even though they only won one single battle. And this is the Battle of Bungarbain. Now, again, this is Gaelic. I'm butchering it. It's Garbhain. From early in the 14th century, when the feud began, from King Robert the Bruce, ally to and friend to the Mackintosh, to King Robert III's infamous Battle of the 30, to the orders of Mary, Queen of Scots, and finally King James, who saw the bloody feud to an absolute end. The Camerons rarely obeyed a royal summons. They never vacated as ordered, nor did they compensate the Mackintoshes as ordered. And in 1666, when the feud finally came to an end, after coming to a final agreement for compensation at the standoff at the fords of Arkaig, the Camerons once again failed to pay the agreed compensation for Loch Arbor, only to have the Earl of Argyll step in and pay the money in every effort to finally bring this feud to an end.
My gosh.
So if I've made any mistakes there, I'll go ahead and and correct up above. So you'll see that as usual, when I go in to edit these cuts and copies,
Right.
I sometimes have to go in and make clarifications, just because it's difficult to read through some of these manuscripts. I'm going to put the 1467, which Philip Beddows sent over to us. It's incredibly difficult to read through that. There's a website up to help with that, but they're not always easy to read. Things were written differently hundreds of years ago. But I think that's a very interesting place to begin talking about the feuds and how the Earl of Argyll had to step in and pay the feud. And at times, this feud encompassed more than half of Scotland got involved and took sides. And the king, as I understand it, had to come forward and try to stop. It was in his best interest to try to end this feud because Clan Hatton was becoming so powerful in the north with the Confederation. And because of this feud, people taking sides, that I have to wonder, and people wonder when they talk about it, was the king in fear of losing or not having as much support just because people were, taking sides and getting involved in this feud? Much of Scotland was getting involved in this feud.
Right.
So
Right. It was ever widening like the ripples in a pond, and I can see where it would start to entangle and involve people that never would have thought it, but I can see that happening. And it's really gonna distract everything in the entire country. So I'm sure that I can see why he had to act, or attempt to act at least.
try to quiet it down. So
Right.
it's and then there's a lot of, things that happen during the feuds, little battles. We'll get more into that. We have more of that. We're ready to go for next week and the week after. We have more history from the feud with the Commons that didn't run quite as long, but that very much embroiled the MacBeans, and they were heavily involved in the feud with the Commons, as we know.
Right.
So it'll be fun to talk a little bit more about that. But
Absolutely.
Ray, what have you got coming up this week on the Touch Not channel? Do you have something in the works?
Yes, we certainly do. I'm going to be talking with a couple of women from the Scottish arts group here in New England that they do so much for the Scottish culture. They're involved in music and dance and in lessons and training and all of that. And it's been in existence since 1984. They're going to be coming on the Touch Not channel with me. We're going to have a conversation. I think we're doing that on Wednesday. Yeah, tomorrow night we're doing that, and it'll be on the Touch Not channel a few days later on what I'm calling my Speaking of Scots playlist. So Speaking of Scots is a thing that I've instituted where we're just talking to local groups about what they're doing concerning Scots culture here in New England and wider if we can, depending on who we decide to talk to. But so that's going to be quite good.
I'm looking forward to that. And do let us know. We'll post it on all of our social media and post it
Great.
here and link to it. I know that last week we touched on this school, and I went ahead and I put links in and I put some pictures of the school working with children. So what a wonderful school and thing that we should be supporting. So everyone, check it out and check out Ray's YouTube channel at Ray McHatton.
That's right. They do a great job. They've got quite a lending library of instruments and uniforms and such, like you might think that people involved with pipe and drum bands would. Uniforms and instruments, pipes and drums and all that. Their lending library of that kind of a thing is part of what they do, which goes along with that kind of an event.
Well, that's wonderful that they do that, because I know, being a bagpiper myself, it's tough, especially for young people. The instruments are expensive. Like, I also play violin and piano, and I don't have to get dressed up to play those instruments. When you're playing the bagpipes or drums in a bagpipe band,
Right.
you also have to get dressed up. So it's quite an expensive journey to take. And so this really is very helpful to assist these young people in not only being able to learn the instrument and teaching with lessons, but to supply some instruments or loan them, as well as the traditional dress that needs to be worn while they're playing them and performing and competing. So just a big shout out to the school.
Yes, I've never thought about this until this moment you said that, but what a thing it must be to just learn how to dress, let alone learn how to play your instrument, as well as for a child or a young person to, and then you've got to keep all that staying in the right place while you're walking down the street in a band at a parade, perhaps. Oh my, it's a lot to do.
And I'm very lucky. I'm married to a drum major. So he's very particular about my uniform as well as his own. So I don't have to so much work on it myself. But yeah,
Right.
you steam everything the night before, hang it up so it's ready to go. You have to keep your kilt steamed. You have to keep everything in line and order. There's a specific placement of your flashes on your kilt hose. There is a very specific way you tie your gillies. And so there's constantly, even now, after all these years of, I think 25 years for me being in the pipe band world, we still have regular lessons at pipe band rehearsal. Here's how you tie your gilly brogues. Here's how you
Right.
wear your Glengarry, and just everybody looking at everyone, making sure, our plaids on our kilts are lined up with our sporran correctly, that we're wearing it at the correct level of on our legs. And it's a
Right.
lot. It's a lot. You got to worry about that and then your instrument as well. So
Right. So hats off to everyone involved in that situation. Believe me. Oh my gosh.
yeah. Well, I am very excited to see your Wednesday night recording. You let me know when you have that up again. We'll put it out on all of our social media channels.
Sure.
And I'll put the link. So anything people out there you can do to support that school. And well, here's a good thing. If you've got extra kilts that you're not using, hose, um, gillies, if you've got anything extra in your closet that is just sitting there, not being used, that you don't wear, you don't use, doesn't fit, maybe you had kids growing up that had to wear these things that they're no longer, that size. If you'd be willing to part with that and send it to the school, and we can put an address right so people can send that over as a donation. What a wonderful gift to help a young musician.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that do have things like that. I never thought about that before, but
I have quite a few things in my closet I will send. So
I know a lot of that might be handed down between from generation to generation. Although I'm sure musical talent is not always handed down through generations, but as tartans usually are. But talent may not be.
oh my goodness,
Perhaps you know that better than I.
I'm the only one in my family that plays bagpipes, and my children don't. I have a son who's a drummer, an excellent drummer. Just a quick story, and then we could probably let people go. So my granddaughter's 3, and I have another one who's 1. They're so cute. They're adorable. And my 3-year-old granddaughter is very smart. She started reading by the time she was 3, and nobody really taught her. She was watching these little reading shows, and she learned to read. She's reading. She's very smart, and she is starting to play drums. So we got her a little drum set, just a little one, and she loves the drums. And then the younger one, who's 1, also is liking the drums. My bagpipe instructor, Seamus Coyne, who's very famous, his father's also a very famous piper in the pipe band world. He's my instructor. He told me, I said, I don't know if I can get one of the granddaughters to play bagpipes. I don't know. Now's the time to get him on the chanter. I'm pulling out my chanter. I'm playing the bagpipes. They're looking, but they kind of hide and peek behind and look because it's loud.
Yeah.
So he said, well, get them a small pipe toy, from Amazon.
Right.
So I did. So I had my granddaughter Lena over, And I pulled it out and I pulled out my chanter and I showed her my pipes. She knows my pipes. She knows her bagpipes. I pulled out this little toy. I showed it to her and she took it from me and she took it over, put him in the bathroom, turned out the light, shut the door and told me no bagpipes, Grandma. I
Wow.
guess I got my answer there. Ray, you got anything you want to add this week?
I do actually. I had one more little Gaelic phrase that I
Yes. Yes.
really, it's
Yes.
not very common in any common usage, but it relates to what I do here and what we're doing. Seish Valcha Case Lovrican. Valcha Case Lovrican.
Falcha
It means welcome to my bookcase. It's the closest thing I could find to welcome to my library. You mean
That's a big flag. I love
Valcha Case Lovrican. A little bit of an LOV. Valcha Case, which is bookcase. Valcha Case Lovrican.
Falcha case Lovrican.
Lovrican. Welcome to my bookcase.
Okay, to my book. Oh, how fun. So we're going to practice these. Everybody practice these. So next Cats and Coffee next week, we're going to start out with the salutation.
There may be some more little bit of a Gaelic content on the touch knot to enjoy if you want to get over there and take a look.
Ray, thank you so much for what you do. Everybody like and subscribe to the Clan Chattan Association YouTube channel. Like and subscribe to Ray McHatton. The link will be here to his Touch Knot channel. And we really appreciate your support. Please do the thumbs up. That helps us. And make a comment. That helps us too.
Yes, please leave lots of Gleva comments. Lots of very good comments. We need Gleva.
Also, post some pictures down below of what you're doing. If you're in your tartan, if you're going to attend something Scottish, of a picture of a past event. We would love to see it. We would love to see you here on our channels and connect with you and see who you are. Thank everyone who has commented so far. Keep those comments coming. We do appreciate them.
Yes, please do. I had another good question this week, and I'm gonna digest that a little bit, and we're gonna take a look at the answer of that, and we'll have the answer to that for you. I believe her name was Claire. I'm going to answer Claire's question.
So just know, everybody, if we take a little bit of a moment, it's because we're trying to get the correct information for you and make sure that it's as accurate as possible.
Right, and that gives us an excuse to have yet another Cats and Coffee episode, so that's fine. Just keep projecting us into the future. Keep asking questions and keep us busy. We like that.
Yes, it's great fun. And don't rely upon Wikipedia.
No.
All right, everyone, enjoy your week. Let us know what you're up to. If you're doing anything Scottish, we'll like to promote anything that you're doing and connect with you.
Absolutely. It's so glad to have you all with us today. Thank you, everyone. Touch knot.
Touch knot. Bye for now.